Look what just arrived, the Violet Soul Tarot. This was a Kickstarter, so we kicked it all the way over here. It is shrink wrap deluxe style. Big, thick deck. Look how thick that is compared to like every other deck. Look at the Panda Tarot, for example, and then you look at this. Maybe a book is included. I haven't opened it yet. You're seeing me open it right now. So, standard box. And it is thick because of... It is thick indeed because it does have a small book in here. Not a really thick book, but yeah, a lot of cards there. So definitely thicker than normal, which is good. I like it thick. So you can see that Sunstello made this. You can see Sunstello Tarot, Facebook, and P. I forgot what P was. All right, let's take a look at the book real quick. Ooh, color. Ooh, a little white book with color. That's nice. I love a color booklet. And that one is made very well indeed. So you got a guidebook. It has a lot of text, including reversals, which is nice for all of that. And once we get to the minors, it looks like they really skimped out here. But the majors have quite a bit of text, so that's good. Let's take a look at the cards and see what we're dealing with here. Here is the back of this, and the cards are super thick. Jesus, that isn't moving at all. These cards are insanely thick. So that is very, very pretty backing on that. So let's take a look. We get the Fool, a little bit of jumping forward, a little bit of Saturn in the background there. Wow, very pretty. It's got a little bit of sparkle here. It's like something was left over on it, maybe. I don't know. Did I drip on it? Maybe I dripped on it. All right. Maybe I have the drippage. I don't know. We have the Magician over here. So we do have a lot of planets in the background. We have the landscape over there. And I like the borderless style. Very, very cute. We have the High Priest. This is kind of chilling. So it's sort of the black and white on top of background art and whatnot, but very cool. A little bit of the High Priestess going on. Man, she was really just chilling over there. Got the Torah, got the moon, a little bit of the crescent moon. Let me zoom in here a little bit for more zoomy action on the cards. The Empress. Pretty. I like the children in there, sort of very empressy. Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. Black and white against like this generic violet background. Just kind of interesting, I guess. The background does have a lot of repetition. Is this repeated through the whole thing? Yeah, kinda. You do kind of have the same repetition on the background over there. It is the Violet Soul Tarot, so it does definitely live up to its name as far as the violetness, the level of violetness goes. But yeah, we got the Emperor, pretty standard there. Get the bird sort of flying in with the color scheme in the background. Get the Hierophant. Oh, that's interesting, kind of herding sheep, maybe. It got a little bit of a cathedral or whatnot in the background. Got the little Taurus thing going on too. Got the Lovers. Ooh, very nice. Sort of a dancing, maybe a ballroom dancing kind of pose there. We got a little bit of the fiery tree and kind of looking for the snake. Don't really see the snake. But then we have a person in the background as well. Maybe a little Cupid. I don't know. It doesn't look like Cupid, but maybe Cupid has a different look and feel on this one. The Chariot, the Sphinxes are intact. Very cool. It is more of a chariot, a true chariot vehicle than the other one with the top and whatnot, as far as what you see in the movies and whatnot. Strength card. Very cool. Not holding the lion's mouth open. A little Lambascate action with some planets in the background. Yeah, the planets in the background are very repetitive. I'm kind of surprised. Just kind of, we stamped either the violet with some planets, or we stamped out, for the background, we stamped out some just kind of some orangish with that background too. We got the hermit sort of isolated there. Hermit is reading a book, sort of implying that knowledge. They're not on top of a mountain or anything like that. We do have a lantern, but they're facing this way, but the lantern's facing the other way, which I think is a good reimagination of that. You know what I'm saying? Because normally they're sort of facing in the same direction of the lantern, and now they're facing the opposite direction, which kind of is interesting. It almost feels like that maybe the hermit is looking both ways, or maybe they're avoiding something, inquiring about knowledge rather than illumination. Wheel of Fortune is very cool. I like this. It reminds me of the Piers Anthony books with the lady who's in charge of time, and time is like basically woven and whatnot. Anyway, we have Justice over here with the sword being at an angle instead of straight up and down, and an angle as far as the weight goes on the scales, which is interesting. It's kind of like an imbalance here and an imbalance here in the opposite direction. Hanged Man, very cute, pretty traditional pose as far as the crossed legs and whatnot, but we have kind of this wreath, almost like the World card wreath, sort of wrapped around. We have the illumination around the head, implying the illumination of knowledge in that. Then we have Death card with a lot of fire, a shocking amount of fire over there. Temperance, the pour, the long pour is there. A little bit of a lily pad action as far as that goes. Devil, we got the two people at the bottom, the devil kind of making their sign. Got the winged aspect of it with the fiery piece here. And, you know, sort of this, almost like this relaxed look from one person, whereas the other person is not really having it, you know. She's like, come on, it's fun. He's like, you know, F you. All right, now we have the tower moment here with maybe nobody falling out, and she's just kind of looking in perspective on the tower. The star, sort of a drooling, drizzling, I guess, from empty hands, I guess, into the lily pads. We get the moon, and then we got the sun. The moon with the howl is kind of traditional there. You get the howl, you get the two creatures. We have the creature coming out of the water, but there's no pathway, there's no buildings, just someone kind of being in a perspective there. We have the sun riding towards the side with no bricks behind them. The judgment card with the E, with the spirit sort of coming out and the horn being blown. We have the world card with a literal world in that mix. All right, let's get the wands. Ace of Wands, so to shoot a little bit more hovering action here. Two of Wands, we're not on top of a building anymore. No building anymore. We're not there. So, yeah, still that generic background through almost all the cards. I'm kind of surprised. Like, if you're going to make a deck, in my opinion, of course, if you're going to make a deck, I mean, make varied backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that difficult to vary up the background at least a little bit to have some variety as far as this goes. The Three of Wands looking out into the sea, but we do have a little bit of a building there, but we do have boats and whatnot. Then we have the Four of Wands, the uniting of there. We have sort of the floral, the wreath-looking thing kind of there. We have the Five of Wands with the conflict, sort of the dancing, the merry, happy conflict that we do have throughout the five that you see. We have the Six of Wands with the people celebrating the victory, and the person kind of elevated or at least higher up being the victorious person. The defensiveness of the Seven, the movement of the Eight. It's interesting how high up they are, and just kind of this ethereal rainbow effect going through there. It's kind of cool. We have a little bit of the Nine with the wounded warrior, no bandage on the head and whatnot. Still pretty cool. I mean, still interesting. So then we have, let's see, the 10, I guess. Sort of like a mental anguish. It kind of reminds me of the Nine of Swords. but the 10 normally just sort of heaving, carrying something. But in here, it's almost like it's a mental anguish or carrying the load mentally, and maybe, sort of suffering from stress kind of thing as well. Then we have the Page of Wands over here, just sort of holding up a little bit of a fiery aspect. I don't know, is that a fiery aspect? Is that a mini dragon? I don't know what that is. The Knight of Wands, very cool, sort of riding a dragon. We're sort of introducing the dragon realm here. Queen of Wands, we have the black cat, so all is well in our life. As long as the Queen of Wands has the black cat, life can go on. If it's not there, life must stop. Life cannot go on at that point. You got the King of Wands, a little bit of a generic King of Wands there. All right, Ace of Cups. I like how they kept the stream from the cups. I don't know, is there a dove? Did they remove the dove? Looks like it. But we have the stream from the cups hitting the lily pads and the water below. So pretty traditional in that method, but there's no dove, there's no cross with a wafer and whatnot. The Two of Cups, very cute. I like that. And that's interesting that we're sort of in a window. You see that? It's kind of like where you're in a door or a window, almost like it's a reflection maybe on a mirror. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I love mirrors in tarot decks. I think mirror is not used enough in tarot decks, and it does give a lot of cool interpretation twists and turns that you can kind of lean on here. We got a 3 with the Celebration. I like this sort of that flowing water there. We have the 4 with the cup being offered by no one, but sort of the back against the tree. More of a meditative state than an anguished, kind of frustrated state that you normally see that in. All right, a little bit of the 5 of Cups with the Disappointment. Almost looks like an 8 of Cups where we're just walking away from a building. I mean, you do have the traditional bridge here. You do have the spilled cups. But it just feels like that she's walked away, right? You know what I'm saying? She's like looking back at us, but sort of headed back across that bridge, maybe from the disappointment. You have a 6 of Cups, which is interesting. We don't have the other person here. I guess we're sort of a memory, maybe, of somebody. That's kind of interesting. 7 of Cups with all the varied choices that exist. We have an 8 of Cups, sort of abandoning, walking off and whatnot. A 9 of Cups with the Celebration, with the building and whatnot in the background, and the happy home, happy family with the 10, which is the rainbow, but we kind of split the cups into 2 rows here. That's interesting. What's on the pedestal, or what's on that thing? What's here? I can't tell. So it's just just flowers, I guess. So it's just like a floral kind of arrangements, like a really big building kind of thing, and we're just kind of in front of it. And we have the Page of Cups, which is from there. Ooh, that is interesting. That is interesting because Violet Soul is Ultraviolet Tarot, and Ultraviolet Tarot is a Pisces, and the Pisces card is the one that's on the face of the deck box. Ooh. So Ultraviolet Tarot is going to watch this and get all excited now, because her card is on the face of the box. Knight of Cups riding the dolphin, I guess. Sure, why not? Fuck it. Just riding the dolphin, whatever. Queen of Cups. Not as lush and luxurious as I expected. I guess because I kind of made mine a little more lush, luxurious, a little more over the top. I kind of expected this one to have at least a little bit of that, because it's sort of that Violet Soul. It's got that, that water influence kind of thing. Kind of a generic King of Cups over here. All right, let's go to the swords. A lot of floating people. If you're a floating person, this is your deck. A 2 of Swords. I don't think I've ever seen 2 different people like that in the 2 of Swords. That's interesting. You have 2 separate people, almost like they're disagreeing, with a little bit of a yin-yang kind of feel there with the black and white. The 3 with a, oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Somebody, she's getting her revenge now. She's getting her revenge now. That's her ex. She's like, my ex broke up with me, the 3 of Swords. Screw him. Oh, my. That is right to the point right there. They're not playing around anymore. You got the 4. It almost looks like a corpse. Okay. So we got 1 sword right through her arm. I guess her left arm is not going to be used as much as she used to. Going to have to right hand that sword. We got the 5 of Swords with the defeated ghosts. I guess she ghosted somebody. We got the 6 with the travel, I guess, but we're not using a stick anymore. We're using a sword to guide the boat, which is oddball. A little bit of the 7. There doesn't seem to be any escape, but we do have a mask kind of indicating stealth or trickery or the usual kind of 7 of Swords, kind of the old school 7 of Swords, traditional. And then we're tied up like we like it in the 8, you know, little pyramid in the background. We got the 9 over here with the dreams and nightmares. And then we're trapped again with the 10. All right. The page, kind of nondescript. The Knight, very much a movement card here. That Knight is not playing around at all. A lot of stuff going on there. That is sort of looks like a Paramount Pictures opening. We have a Queen of Swords over there with a hummingbird, I guess. King of Swords, kind of isolated over there with the chair. And now we go to the finale, the Pentacle, sort of holding the Pentacle and more floaty people. We have the 2 of Pentacles with all of the juggling happening at once. We're holding a lot of stuff. We're holding a book, I think. We're holding a green book and whatever the hell that is. I don't know what that is. It looks like a constellation. So we're holding a green book and a blue constellation. The 3, we're handing over specifications to somebody who's hovering stuff. And we're looking at her bicep. Girl's been pumping. Girl's got guns. She's looking at her guns. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You come home from the gym on arm day, dude. You come home from the gym on arm day and you spend like all night doing that. You're like, bro, look at my guns. You know what I'm saying? So you just randomly make an appointment with the bros to come over, and y'all gonna go have some dinner, and you're like, look at my guns, bro. So yeah, I mean, I think her guns are good. You know what I'm saying? I think she's got it down. We got the 5 over here with broke. You don't look too broke to me. We got little remnants of snow, got the snow falling, and we're holding something and staring at it. I don't know what it is. So now we have a lot of people in the 6 of Pentacles. The giving has commenced. The scales are finally balanced, my friends. The 3 people from the 3 of Cups are back. And then we have holding a flower in the 7 of Pentacles with the dancing ballet in the background. And what is that? Is that a fold? Is that a fold? That took me off guard. That right there. Right there. That took me off guard a little bit. I think it's a fold in the clothing. So we have the 8 of Pentacles. We are making all the Pentacles. We're reading up on how to get all of this done. The 9 of Pentacles. Man, that is relaxed right there. That is like bad posture. I mean, you're going to get like back problems from that. Got the snail at the bottom. We have this weird gown that comes back up here. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We got the old guy. I guess that's old. Is that the new grandpa? Maybe. We got the dogs. We got the page. The knight. We got the queen. And we got the king. All right, what do I think about it? I think it's pretty. I don't like the repetition of the background. I mean, if you're going to make a tarot deck, it looks like that we just sort of made the background by one person and then we handed it off to somebody else and made the foreground. It feels like, made the people. I mean, it's nice. It's just so repetitive for the background. I really wish that they would have done more, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. This is for you. Let me know what you think. I do like the color little white book. I think there's a lot of text for all the majors. The minors, we really skimped out here. But, you know, the majors looks really good. Overall, I think this was worth the money. I think this was a great deck. I'm definitely going to use it on stream. Let me know what you think about the Violet Soul Tarot.